Myself, Professor Pawar VK from Department of Geography, J.A.T Art, Science and Commerce College for Women, Malegaon. On behalf of this video presentation, I welcome you all. Now, number one is barchans. The dunes formed may be symmetrical or asymmetrical depending upon the form of obstruction and direction of wind so far. When the obstruction does not ramify the wind current, the dunes become symmetrical. If the obstruction is branch of the tree or irregular bush, there is deflection of wind and asymmetrical sand dunes on the windward face of the barchan. Progressively, such features may divide the barchans into two into 3 and so on. Barchans are generally found at the margins of the deserts. These are not static features, but dunes migrate with the gain of strong wind. When the quantity of sand is limited or small in amount, as well as the wind is also moderate, crescent shaped dunes are produced. Such dunes are known as barchans. Their leeward slope is steep and concave, while windward slope is gentle and convex. The lower ends of each ridge are found in a curved fashion in the direction of the wind blow. As a result, the hours develop on either side of the dune. Barchan is a depositional feature of wind action, quite common all over the arid and semi-arid tracts of the world. These are numerous in Turkestan. When several barchans coalesce together, they look like sinus strings. They attain great heights in the center. Sometimes the wind may become stronger and sand supply may become sluggish. The concavities are scooped by wind on the windward side of the barchan. Thus, blowouts are formed. However, by and large, the nature of sand dunes depends upon supply of sand material and power of wind. According to directional point of view, sand dunes are of following two types. Number one, transverse dunes and longitudinal dunes. Transverse sand dunes. Barchan is a Turkish word that denotes a dune of sand in the desert landscape. These crescent shaped mounds of sand with the horns on the either sides of the barchan. Sometimes several barchans may merge into each other and they lose their typical crescent shape. As we see in the figure or the photograph over here, the barchans are seen to be crescent shaped. Now, barchans, when the sand dunes are formed perpendicular to the direction of wind, their shape is somewhat asymmetrical. On the windward side, the slope is gentler, while on the leeward side, there is the opposite side, the slope is sharper or steeper. On windward side, the slope is gentler, while on leeward, there is the opposite side, the slope is sharper. On the windward side, the mound of sand shows convex surface. On the leeward side, the shape is concave, while across winds become responsible to increase height and width of the longitudinal dunes. Extensive sheaf dunes are found in the Sahara Desert, Thar Desert and Great Victoria Desert of Australia. Now, second is sheaf dunes. Sheaf dunes are also known as longitudinal dunes. Longitudinal dunes are also called as sheaf dunes. Sheaf bears Arabic origin that denotes the blade of the sword. The longitudinal dunes appear like flat blade of the Arabian sword, hence those are called or known as sheafs. Longitudinal dunes are produced with modification in the shape of the transverse dunes. When the wind is strong, faster and violent, it paves out a channel through the minor hollows and concave surfaces of the leeward side. The sand is trailed out along the current of wind, and transverse dune is divided into two individual ridges parallel to the direction of prevailing wind. Sheaf dunes are nothing but the mergings of a line of barkans in a longitudinal manner. Sheaf dunes are thus low ridges that lie in the direction of the prevailing wind. Their extent is found several kilometers. Prevailing winds become responsible for lengthening the dunes. Unlike barkan, which lies transverse to the prevailing wind direction, the sheaf dune runs parallel to the prevailing wind. However, it is also affected and subjected by cross winds. Cross winds blow alternatively and become responsible for its proceedings in forward direction. The advancing or migration of sand dunes in the deserts is always a problem of uncertain attacks. Such dunes may cork the oases or bury the habitations. Sometimes the whole village can be buried by ferocious action of advancing dunes.